So right now, we're going to talk about 9/11 and some of the crimes, and I'm just appalled by the job performance all around by the administration during that day. Number one, there's 4 planes, and one plane in Pennsylvania got taken down. They say it was shot down. It went down. So the other 3 planes, the first plane hit the building. Hits the building. So in between the time between the first plane and the second plane, this is where the leaders messed up, where it kind of looks fishy that they wanted the second plane to actually hit the building. There were no helicopters or military apparatus to intercept that plane, at least to protect the people in the building while they were evacuating, in my opinion. And the reason why I question that is because I know it sounds, well, you don't want to take down the plane, but the building versus the plane in that situation, when I see the pattern of other things that have occurred, I think they would have taken the plane out during the war, say in Afghanistan. But in our circumstance, that plane was allowed to actually make the contact, which was the final blow. Third, the Pentagon. Any plane, anything going in and out of that perimeter or that radius, which we talk about, Flight 77 in our book, should never reach the Pentagon building. And the fact that there were important people in that building, we really, that day, I wouldn't just say it got attacked, but we got really suckered and played from the after effects. First of all, going to war in Afghanistan, that's one thing. But the war in Iraq, that's a whole different ballgame. Where people all committed to one war and they were sent to the other war. Now when they're coming home, they really don't want to be talking about it, and that's another issue we need to talk about. We were watching on the ABC News today how these new suits, flight suits, could be used. I'm sure they had these flight suits, Charles, in 2001. Perhaps somebody threw that plane in remote control and jumped out. You guys didn't catch those guys jumping out of that plane. I'm starting to question all the crimes. Like if it's on a remote control and you guys are saying, oh yeah, it's this guy, it's this guy, it's this guy, when it's your own operations militarily and against the foundation. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. We were talking about watching Jeopardy today, and there was a question, which year did the U.S. declare war on Spain? And it said 1898. So I'm looking at the 1, I'm looking at the 8, I'm looking at the 9 in the middle, and I'm looking at 8 on the other side, and it's really starting to bother me. That is take 5.